Breaking: Trump blasts Honduras election. Rigged. Exploding head. Asfura had previously been leading by around 500 votes when earlier results were released on Monday. Rishi Moncada, of the ruling leftist Libre Party, was well behind in third place with 19.09%. The initial rapid count system was beset by issues. The CNE Electoral Authority said in a statement Tuesday that had also resulted in problems with the web portal where results were meant to be updated in real time. The website was down much of Monday, causing tensions to rise in the tightly contested race, plagued by accusations of possible fraud before votes were even cast on Sunday. Trump weighed in on Monday in a social media post in which he alleged, without evidence, that Honduras was trying to change the results of their presidential election. If they do, there will be hell to pay. The people of Honduras voted in overwhelming numbers on November 30th, Trump said on his Truth Social platform. There was high voter turnout in Sunday's election, which was peaceful across the country, according to the Organization of American States, which observed the vote. It said in a statement Monday that it was able to verify that the voting proceeded normally, except for isolated incidents in some municipalities of the country. In Taipei on Wednesday, Taiwan Foreign Minister Lin Chia-lung told reporters that the island would actively engage with whoever was elected. In the election run-up, Trump said he could work with Asfura, a 67-year-old former mayor of Tegucigalpa, to counter drug trafficking. He accused Moncada of being a communist, without providing evidence. OMG, NYC Subway's crazy Chanel transformation. Exploding head. On Tuesday afternoon, Kristen Stewart was ensconced in a New York City subway car, feeling genuine overwhelm, not by the usual stress of a commute, pushy crowds, delayed trains, but by Chanel's latest runway show. Rarely has spending over an hour underground in the city's subway felt so glamorous. Then actor Christine Baranski glided through, looking like model Susie Parker posing for Richard Avedon in the late 1950s. Showing the gals how it's done. We're probably past the point when what a designer shows on the runway is going to influence what the average Jane finds in her local store, especially because the go-to these days is typically Zara or online retailer Shein. Man swallowed a Fabergé egg. Arrested. Exploding head. The unusual incident occurred on Friday afternoon at a store in central Auckland. According to a statement from Inspector Gray Anderson, Auckland Central Area Commander at New Zealand Police, sent to CNN on Tuesday. Given this man is in police custody, we have a duty of care to continue monitoring him given the circumstances of what has occurred, said Anderson. At this stage the pendant has not been recovered. He added, the stolen item is a Fabergé James Bond Octopussy egg locket worth $33.585 New Zealand dollars, $19.300, according to court documents seen by CNN affiliate Radio New Zealand. In true Fabergé style, the beautiful egg locket also offers a surprise, eye-opening to reveal a miniature 18K gold octopus inside, capturing the spirit of the film's namesake. The description reads, the octopus has been set with 2 black diamond eyes. It adds, Fabergé is a historic jewelry house founded in St. Petersburg, Russia, in 1842. The winter egg's astronomical price tag reflects the growing rarity of the eggs, none of which had been seen at auction in over 23 years. It is one of just 7 left in private hands, with the others either missing or owned by institutions or museums. Wild raccoon drunk. Liquor store chaos. Exploding head. The suspect acted like an animal because, in fact, he's a raccoon. On Saturday morning, an employee at the Ashland, Virginia area liquor store found the trash panda passed out on the bathroom floor at the end of his drunken escapade. Martin said she took the raccoon back to the animal shelter, though she had her fair share of giggles along the way. Another day in the life of an animal control officer, I guess, she said. Photos and video from Epstein's private island released by House Democrats. Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most prominent victims, wrote in her posthumous memoir, for example, that it was on one of the islands, when she was 18 that Epstein trafficked me to a man who raped me more savagely than anyone had before. Both islands were purchased by billionaire investor Stephen Dekoff in 2023. Dekoff has not responded to CNN's requests for comment about the islands. This story has been updated with additional developments. Ghislaine Maxwell's shocking new plea. Is she free? Exploding head. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend who was convicted of recruiting young girls into sex trafficking, is planning to ask a judge to release her from prison, according to a new court filing. Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking minors in 2021. She was held at a low-security prison in Tallahassee, Florida, but moved to a less restrictive minimum security prison in Bryan, Texas, following a two-day interview with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche this summer. The transfer ignited controversy over whether she was receiving preferential treatment to help the administration. Marcus has previously denied that Maxwell is seeking a pardon. Trump has said he'd have to take a look at whether he would grant her one. India's double game, US versus Putin shocker. High voltage. But Putin's trip, his first to India since the start of his war, comes at a tense time for Modi. New Delhi is negotiating a much-needed trade deal with Washington, after it was slapped with 50% tariffs, half of which was direct punishment for New Delhi's continued purchases of discounted Russian oil. This underscores how India must navigate a complicated neighborhood. Russia is also a close partner of China, while Beijing is a major source of weapons for Pakistan. Although India's procurement of Russian weapons has dropped over the last 4 years, Moscow remains its top military supplier, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, a think tank that tracks global arms sales. Much of this Russian hardware is purchased with an eye on India's rival China, which has emerged as one of Moscow's closest partners in recent years, but with whom India has long-standing border tensions. Beijing, meanwhile, is a major arms supplier to India's arch-rival Pakistan, including of jets that Pakistan's military said it used to shoot down Indian fighters during a brief border conflict earlier this year. One of those jets, according to Pakistani officials, was a Russian-made Sukhoi Su-30. Russian Su-30 jets currently make up the majority of India's 29 fighter squadrons, according to Reuters. This week's talks with Russia will likely cover a potential arms deal for its most advanced fighter, the Su-57. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters Tuesday, "We have hundreds of millions of poor people. We need to raise them out above the poverty line to deal with that. India needs to maintain a decent working relationship with all great powers," said Nandan Unnikrishnan, a distinguished fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, ORF, think tank in New Delhi. The financial pressure from Washington is not only straining ties but also appears to be accelerating a détente with Beijing. Days after Trump's India tariffs came into effect, Modi made his first trip to China in 7 years for a summit hosted by Chinese leader Xi Jinping designed to showcase Beijing as a global leader capable of providing a counterweight to Western institutions. And New Delhi is still negotiating the contours of a trade deal with Washington, a deal its Commerce Secretary Rajesh Aggarwal expects to be finalized by the end of this year. He said at an event last week. This confidence is bolstered by an understanding within the Kremlin, analysts say. Still, this delicate balance will be under scrutiny from Washington, particularly with major defense contracts on the table during Putin's visit to New Delhi. India will have to be careful to that extent, particularly since the bilateral trade deal has not been arrived at, Unnikrishnan said. You don't want to inject any more irritants into a difficult phase as it exists today. Trump demands. Secret drug ship video exposed. Exploding head. President Donald Trump said Wednesday that his administration would certainly release video of a follow-up strike on an alleged drug vessel in the Caribbean after the initial attack did not kill everyone on board. I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office. You know, we stopped every boat we knock out. We saved 25,000 American lives. Trump posted video of the initial strike shortly after the September 2nd operation to his Truth Social platform. And Trump dismissed questions about whether Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth or Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley, who the administration said ordered the second strike, should be punished if survivors were clinging to the boat. I think you're going to find that this is war. That these people were killing our people by the millions. Trump said. I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing. Taking out those boats. Trump said. And very soon, we're going to start doing it on land too. Trump said he was sharper than I was 25 years ago. Then he spent an hour appearing to doze off, again. At the start of a cabinet meeting just after noon ET on Tuesday, President Donald Trump made his seemingly obligatory reference to Sleepy Joe Biden. Trump is sharp, but they're not sharp, Trump said of the newspaper. If Trump heard the joke, he barely showed it. Images of Trump dozing off during that event, images even clearer than ones Tuesday because of the camera angles available in the Oval, soon went viral. But these kinds of scenes are clearly becoming more prevalent. After Biden's vibrant State of the Union in early 2024, Trump said that, most of the time, he looks like he's falling asleep. In June 2024, soon before Biden's disastrous debate performance, Trump ridiculed the then-president for appearing sleepy after overseas travel, saying, "He falls asleep at every single event. How do you fall asleep when cameras are raging? Right?" he said at one point in September 2024. He told podcast host Andrew Schultz the same month, "You'll never see me sleeping in front of the camera." Just like calling someone Sleepy Joe ad nauseum is going to make it more noticeable when Trump can't seem to shake his own sleepiness. Collision shocking. Putin crushes Trump's team. Exploding head. So where does this leave Trump's peace process? Ushakov said elements of the proposed deal were acceptable. Others harshly criticized. It appeared possible that Zelensky had privately toyed with the idea of land swaps prior to the Kremlin meeting, softening a red line of the war. Yet the exact nature of any concessions from Kyiv was a closely guarded secret. Presumably to not box Zelensky into a new starting point for future talks. Yet whatever sweeteners Witkoff attached to the deal, Putin sent the dish back.
Thanks for watching. Stay informed with U.S. Central News.